We are extremely pleased that you're here. It is good to come together for the purpose of co-creating. Do you agree? Yes. You're knowing what you're wanting. You like how your desire evolves. You're doing a good job of keeping up with your desire. That's the rub, isn't it? Because sometimes you say, I want it, but. So you contradict your own desire with your belief of where you are. And that gets a little tricky, doesn't it? Because the vibration of your desire and the vibration of your belief must be a match, a vibrational match, before you can allow yourself to realize it. So if you've been practicing the idea of how something is slow to come, or how it hasn't come, or how it never comes, or how you hardly know anybody that ever has that experience, then you may be practicing a vibration that is preventing what you want from being realized by you. And that really is what creating your own reality is all about, isn't it? Life helps you to define what you desire. Do you believe, and this is not a test, we just want you to contemplate it for a little bit, and then we will evaluate you and judge you. Do you believe that you do create your own reality? And do you believe that you really can be or do or have anything that you desire, provided you find a way to vibrationally be in alignment with your desire? And isn't it interesting how, not as important as you want to make it out to be, isn't it interesting how what is gets so much of your attention? Let's talk about what is. Even more, let's talk about how what is came about. Let's talk about how what is has been what is. And now you're beginning to realize that the more you talk about what is, the more you practice the vibration of what is. A belief is only a thought you keep thinking. So if you are observing what is and talking about what is and explaining what is and justifying what is and rationalizing what is and defending what is and explaining what is and trying to get somebody else to understand your perspective of what is, there it is, isn't it? Then you're keeping an active vibration going that may not be serving you. Because in that belief that is contrary to what you want, you are introducing resistance into your vibrational output. You like knowing about your vibrational output? Do you get it? That you are outputting in every waking moment, that you are emanating a vibration, and that law of attraction is matching that vibration with other things like it. That's why it's easy to get on a roll with something, wanted or unwanted. We like to use the word momentum in conjunction with the words law of attraction, because law of attraction is the maker of momentum, and momentum is the result of law of attraction and your focus. So whatever you're giving your attention to, because of law of attraction's response to your vibrational output, it's gaining momentum. So a really good thing to ask yourself is, what's gaining the most momentum in my experience? The new idea of what I want, or the now awareness of what already is? Am I keeping myself from moving forward because of my attention to what is? Yes. Forward because of my attention to what is? Yes. Well, Abraham, am I keeping myself from moving forward because of my attention to what is? Can't you hear us? Yes, 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 yes. What is often is a wonderful thing to focus upon, because sometimes you want a continuation of some of what is. But sometimes you don't want a continuation of some of what is. So you want to be a selective sifter. And so then you say yes. And we want to help you to give yourself the benefit of the doubt here. Give yourself a break, because you can't all of a sudden begin believing or thinking so differently than what you have been because of momentum. Esther has a love-hate relationship with the San Francisco Hills. Couldn't believe that people actually lived there and drove there. Imagine being at the top of one of those hills. You take your car out of gear, you take the parking brake off, and just to see what might happen, you push your car from behind just a little bit. And then you realize that you're pretty sure you know what's going to happen. So before the momentum gets too strong, you step out in front of it and you let the car bump up against you, and all is well, because you stopped the momentum in the early stages. But you wouldn't want to be at the bottom of the hill stopping that car. That momentum's going to mow you down. And so sometimes you have a momentum of beliefs. Sometimes you say, it's like my thoughts are thinking me, rather than I am thinking my thoughts. And we say, well, you're always doing the thinking, but law of attraction plays a big factor in the thoughts that you are currently thinking. So today, I want to talk with you about anything that matters to you, but we want to help you to get a handle on what your point of attraction is, and we want to show you some easier ways to adjust the vibrational output that you've got going on. Begin to let some of those beliefs that aren't serving you go dormant by your lack of attention to them. You can't all of a sudden let something go dormant that has momentum going. That's like saying, okay, I'm going to push my car, and right before it crashes into the bay below, I'm going to stop it. And we say, probably not in a comfortable way. And we want you to know that you can change your beliefs in comfortable ways. It doesn't have to be a hard thing. Someone said to us the other day, how do you get rid of doubt? And we said, before you get it. Well, how annoying is that? If I've already got it, then it's too late for me. What we wanted to make this person understand is that what you've got going on right now will peter out if you do not continue to give more attention to it. Really, it will. This universe is based upon attraction, and when you are thinking about something, law of attraction is responding to the active vibration here and now. So if the active vibration here and now is different than it was before, then your point of attraction is shifted and you're going to receive different things. So today we want to talk about anything that matters to you, but we want to weave it into the framework of the laws of the universe as we know them to be. We want you to begin to utilize law of attraction and its momentum, its literal physics of motion, in the same way that you have learned to use gravity to your advantage. None of you say, I'm going to be the exception to gravity. I can fly for a minute. We want you to understand that this law of attraction is your best friend. And the reason that it is because it's utterly consistent. But you have to understand what you're doing with it. You have to understand what your point of attraction is before you are the deliberate creator of your own reality. Otherwise, you're creating by default, just sort of offering thought all over the place. So I'm going to give you a very brief sort of bringing you round to what we know you already know, but it's a good basis to begin with. And then it is our promise to you that today, not only will we answer everything that's active within you, for sure, but together we will collectively take thought beyond anything that has been before on this subject of creating your own reality. Because we want you to be clear and confident about how thoughts turn to things. How is it that you conjure something in your mind, practice it a little bit, and then it begins manifesting in your experience? Everything that you are living is a literal translation of the vibration that you've been practicing. But when you're not doing it on purpose, when you're not doing it deliberately, when you're not paying attention to the guidance system within you, and you're not deliberately molding your thought with awareness of what the new molding feels like, then you have a tendency as humans, we love you so much, to observe outcomes, to observe conditions, and then to spend most of your time evaluating the conditions, measuring them, categorizing them, judging them, condemning them or praising them, but vibrating all over the place because of them. So you have very little control of your own output because you're so, we love you so much, nosy. You have so much attention about so many things that you then activate in your vibration that doesn't serve you. And the primary reason that you are willing to do that is because, did we tell you we love you? You're willing to put up with not feeling good. You're willing to endure negative emotion. You're willing to say, guidance system, I know you're trying to help me do what's better for me, but I'm strong and brave. And I can endure the discord that I'm feeling as I focus in opposition to what I want, to all that I've become, and to who I really am. That was dramatic, wasn't it? But you do it because you are willing to put up with it to a certain extent. And this is what we meant as we were talking to our friend about getting rid of doubt before it starts. In the early stages of practicing that vibration, it's not all that painful. It feels sometimes like a little bit funny, and then a little bit interesting, and then slightly annoying, and then maybe even overwhelming and irritating. But you can live with all of that. That's just daily life on planet Earth, you say. And we say, but it doesn't have to be. And if you let the momentum of it move from those slight irritations, and you don't do something about changing the focus of your thoughts, it's going to get bigger. And before you know it, you've got some full-blown car barreling down the hill, and you're at the bottom of the hill trying to stop the momentum, and you're saying, this is hard. This is too hard. Life is hard. And it's not my fault. I blame my mother. She should have warned me. She shouldn't have warned me. She should have done something. She should have not done something. Poor mother, she can't win. And so once you realize that you have control now, so yes, there's momentum now, and yes, it's playing out now, but it can change because you have the ability to change your perspective. You have the ability, and these are the words we want you to leave here remembering forevermore. We're going to give it to you in a context that you've never considered before. You must consider your life experience without giving so much attention to the conditions of the experience. Because you cannot find vibrational alignment with source and with what's coming and with who you really are and with what you want and with all that you've created and with what's in your vortex and with all of the things that you have become. You cannot be a vibrational match to the more of you when you are a vibrational match to the less of you. It's one or the other. In other words, you've got to focus toward something. And if you're focused toward what is, then you are just regurgitating what is. You're holding yourself in a vibrational pattern that won't let you move from where you are. Different faces, different places. Have you noticed? Different scenarios, but the same old keeps happening because of your attention to what is, you see. And so we know you've heard the expression unconditional love. People talk about it all the time, but they don't have a clue what it means, because most people, when you speak of unconditional love, think that what we're saying is look at some condition that is really important and tolerate it. Look at it, and even though your guidance system is turning your guts wrenching inside out, even though everything within you is letting you know that this conversation is not of advantage to you and it's just perpetuating a vibration that's going to continue a point of attraction that does not serve you and that you do not want, even though all of that is going on, be a lover, an unconditional lover. Just look at that guy you hate and say nice things about him when he's around. But unconditional love is being aligned with source. That means you have to look at things the way source looks at things. You can't have something going on in your vibration and just cover it up with words and action. That's not unconditional. That's based upon the conditions. And so we know it feels a little uncomfortable in the beginning of this discussion, but it is our promise to you that by the time you leave this gathering today, you'll have a clear understanding of how to tune to who you really are and what you really want, rather than to the current condition that is introducing resistance into your vibration. And that is all that is required for you to move from unwanted to wanted, or from less of something that you want to more of something that you want, to more interest, to more delight, to more passion, to more eagerness, to more love, to more appreciation, to more alignment, to more of who you already are vibrationally.